Autosport International. We're about to get our final guest here onto the stage and find out all about Briska F1. They're very noisy, they're very loud, they're very exciting, they're very, very quick. Before we bring our guest out, let's bring out the car itself. Let's welcome into the arena the Briska F1, driven by Frankie Wainman. In the arena, and all of a sudden you can't see it's because we've got that huge advertising wing there on too. So let's welcome onto the stage Frankie Wainman Jnr. and breathe in the fumes of that Briska F1. First off, here's that. Oh, such polite applause there, a smattering of polite applause. Now, first of all, it's great to see you here. I know that Briska F1 has been a big part of the live action arena show as well, and it's great to see one of these in the hall and actually hear it start and fire up inside the NEC as well, in this sort of room. For yourself, how long have you been a part of this? And tell us a bit about your history.
Yeah, we've been involved with the NEC right from the very start, the very first year, 25 years I think it is this year. We've been every year. It's a massive, part of the show. We love coming here, the noise indoor, the spectacle, the contact that we have. We try and get as much as we can indoor, which we're not supposed to, but that's what makes us so great here, and then obviously the noise.
For those who don't have any idea what they're looking at right now, or even what Briska F1 is, because there are some of the most bizarre looking cars we get in this sort of show.
Yeah, absolutely. The full contact, 650 brake horsepower racing cars. The technology in them these days is just so high that the engines, everything about them, to make it what we do, and it's a full contact sport. The atmosphere at meetings, the big meetings, absolutely unbelievable. You have to actually be there to get involved with it. It's been absolutely brilliant.
I've sat in the live action arena and I've seen when you guys do your demo runs, and I use this term way too often, but it's a visceral experience. The whole thing just runs through you. Your chest goes, everything goes. What's it like inside?
Yeah, exactly the same. No, exactly the same. And obviously indoor, you're trying to put a show on, but you're trying to get the spectacle across. And obviously, we're a little bit different to most forms. It doesn't actually matter if we eat each other. We do eat each other, but obviously indoor you've got to be a little bit careful. But we try and get a bit of that into there for people to see what we actually do at full-on meetings.
And tell us where these meetings occur. What sort of venues we're looking at?
Yeah, we race all over the UK. Next year's Briska's 70th year. It's our 70th year next year. We've got a 6,000th meeting coming up. So we've got a full season planned for next year, a lot of things happening.
Next year being 2025 or
no, 24, this
the one we're
that's only so obviously the World Championships at Skegness on the 14th of September, all the drivers are going to be going for that. It's going to be an absolutely superb evening, and then obviously we've got a revised shootout series for this season, for the end of the season for the points, which has always been absolutely brilliant over the last few years. So we've got a good season planned.
And what venues are they? What tracks are we looking at?
We race everywhere from Scotland right down to Ipswich, Kings Lynn, Northampton, Skegness, obviously. We race everywhere. If you come and join us on our stand, we've got fixture lists there for people to take away. There's usually a stadium within an hour of where everybody lives. So.
Brilliant, and we're talking oval racing here, we're talking these big arenas for people to come and have a look at it. These 650 is a V8, 6-litre V8.
Yeah.
Produces a lot of power.
Yes.
Presumably, there's a lot of metal work there, but presumably it weighs relatively low numbers?
1,350 kilos, 1,050 kilos, so yeah, they're good. And obviously, our formula is designed where in normal races, the faster guys start right at the back, so every race is full on. So like every race, Tom Harris will start at the very back cars, and we're fighting his way through, so everything is happening from lap 1 to lap 16. So.
How many cars per race?
Oh, we're up to 36 cars in some races.
Holy cow.
And on a short oval like Skegness, fast tarmac, it is chaos, and the racing is absolutely superb.
So how did you get involved? When we look at things like rallycross, or we look at autocross to start with, autocross seems to be a big family affair. You know, you get mum or dad or both sharing one car, kids get involved as well. Is it similar when it comes to...
Yeah, very similar. Obviously I was born into it, my dad raced, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, you know, I was born into it, same now my kids have followed through, and that's just how it comes about. But we've got a lot of people getting interested in the formula now from other formulas like the grasses. Got a few grasses coming in, you know, and having a go and being successful, which is good because, you know, it's not as expensive as people think it could be. You could spend as much as you want, but to win you don't have to spend millions of dollars.
What sort of money are you looking at, if you don't mind me asking?
That car there's like 75 grand. But like you can pick cars up, reasonable racing, like good cars, 15, 20 grand, and you're out there racing and being successful. So.
Now it generates quite a lot of excitement because of the noise, because of that experience. And it's not just the noise, the smell, the sights, the sounds, it all goes together, doesn't it? And just looking around here as well, you bring one of these things into this arena, we don't get these things firing up in this sort of hall. Normally they say, no. But Ben, the organiser of this, he had this idea to let some of these cars fire up, and it just means we get to hear them for ourselves. So put us in your position. You climb into that, you're in the pits and you drive out. Tell us what it's like, what's going on.
Obviously world final, you're coming out, so first car out into that, you know, onto the track. The atmosphere is just electric, you know, it still goes through me now, and I've done it for 30 or 37 years or whatever I've raced. It still goes through you, the adrenaline kicks in, you know, them spectators, they don't bother who wins, they just want to see a brilliant race, if that makes sense. And usually we would turn on a brilliant race, and the racing is so close. You know, we don't have cars just zipping off into the distance and walking races. Every race is earned and won by a good driver.
You can tell when you're onto something exciting by the number of phones that get out and start videoing things as well, and it does bring that to it.
Yeah.
For yourself then, in your racing career, say you got involved 37 years ago.
Yeah.
What's been your career highlight or highlights, if you want to give us a few? I don't want to pick your favourite child, but go on.
No, don't do that. No, obviously the World Long Track Championship, I won the last ever one of those in Holland, which was a special meeting for me. Obviously the track shut down after that. That was a kilometre oval. Ridiculous speeds down the straight, 120, 130 mile an hour, back in sort of the 80s, you know what I mean, not the technology we've got now. Obviously 3 World Championships I've won, 3 World Championships in New Zealand. So obviously, you know, they all have a special place in my heart. All the British Championships, I think I've won 9 Britishes, so yeah.
So which country do you think is the most competitive?
Which country? New Zealand's an experience. The very first time I raced in New Zealand, I had people say to me, look, you need to watch this driver, be careful with this driver. And I just took them all out in first race. And they all went, why are you doing that? I said, well, get them before they get me. And that's how I put my mark on over there, and I've won 3 times over there. You know, people were saying that's not the right way to do it, but I have my own way of racing. If you race hard, they respect you. And I've had a brilliant career over there, I've loved every year. We're going over on Monday to do the 240s again next weekend. The team's coming up in February again, so you know we're all doing into that. So yeah.
When we look at different forms of racing, we look at different setups you can do for the different circuits or different layouts you have. You just hinted just there that, you know, there are some circuits and tracks, ovals that are longer than others.
Absolutely.
So what can you do, or what do you do to the car to set it up for different layouts? When we know the layouts are the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Every track has a different setup. We all have scales, we set the car different at the corner, each way on the corner. So obviously we just turn left, but each way...
Tighter lefts, aren't they? Yours are straight.
Yes, so obviously the gearing, we can alter the gearing for every track to suit whichever track you're racing on. Drivers all run different gearings to suit their engine, how they want to drive. You know, there's a lot of technical stuff goes into it now. You know, they're not just big clumsy cars you jump in and go and race. You know, there is a big technical side to it of these cars, the setup, tyres, the amount of tread you've got on tyres. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to work with as a track slick out. you know, everything comes to you and you have to alter things.
So what is the appeal for an audience point of view? Because I love rallycross, I love speedway, I love the short form racing as much as I love the long form racing. I work in British GT, so I like 3-hour races. Yeah. I also like the 5-lap World Rallycross races too. So tell us what the appeal is, not just from your point of view, but from what you think the spectators. It might seem an obvious question, but
yeah, well, literally, obviously, every meeting we have heats. You know, we're qualifying heats, which we qualify through to the final. Like I said, the faster drivers always start at the back, so you have constantly got position changing in the race. You've got drivers fighting their way through, and this is contact, so they're getting hit out the way, they're crashing out the way, you're moving them out the way. You know, the object is to move the car and leave it there for your opponent to get past because they're coming through behind you. There's a lot of technical stuff. It's not just simple stuff, you know. And obviously, and you move up to your meeting final, which everybody wants to win. 20 laps, again, the faster cars are all at the back. So you've got to work hard every lap.
Yeah, and safety is a huge part of it as well, because I think sometimes people might be of the opinion that when you start talking about this sort of racing, safety goes out the window, but it's far from that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all have to run the hands devices now, full seats, everything. The cars are fully certified and checked. Everything's got to be right. I mean, obviously, everything's moved on with health and safety these days, but obviously we've kept ahead of everything as much as we can. You know, we've got an absolutely superb safety record, you know, within the sport, and that's due to the drivers within it, really.
I think it's amazing. It's great, fantastic to see it in here. It's even better to hear it fire up as well. Now, people have never heard of Briska and they want to find out more about yourself and about the championship. What do they do?
Yeah, just get online, just jump on the BSCDA or Briska, or just click my name and you'll get links through, and go and have a look. Seriously, if you want a superb night out, you know, there'll be a track local to any person, and just get there and see if you enjoy the evening. I don't think I've ever met one person that's been to a meeting and gone, no, this isn't for me. You know, they all love it in some way. You know, the fact they can come in the pits, they can go up to the drivers, they can talk to the drivers. You know, we've had some links with the touring car drivers. They've done a few races last year and the year before with us, and obviously we've had their fans there at meetings, and they can't believe that they can just come up and talk to you, and that they're talking to the touring car drivers that they've followed for years. But in our job, it's so open, and we just chat to whoever we can and get people involved, families involved. Yeah.
Were they any good?
Yeah, they were. Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, they did. I think last year, 2 years now, and last year we did, a lot of people wanted to do it. They had the full-on race, and they absolutely loved it. And they appreciate that. Obviously, our cars are not as technical as theirs in the fact we don't have traction control, all that sort of stuff. And they're asking questions like, "Well, what you drive it? You drive it with your foot, and you drive it with your head." Oh, so the computer doesn't do it for you? No, this is a stock. You do it with your foot, you do it with your head, and they get it all, and it was absolutely superb.
Amazing. Please do check it out, Briska F1. Check out as well Frankie and see what he's up to. So the next meeting for you?
Our first meeting will be Kingsley in April when we get back. March. In March, yeah. So yeah,
travelling all over the place.
Yeah, so we're going to
anywhere there's speedway.
Anywhere there's speedway, we'll go and do it. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Please do check it out, Briska F1, and please show your appreciation for Frankie Wainman Jnr. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks to bringing the car in. Thank you. And we'll get that fired up one more time so we can have another listen of that V8 rumble. That's it for us here though on the main stage here, Autosport stage, for another day. Back tomorrow. If you're around tomorrow, then we'd love to see you here. We've got the former Haas team principal, Gunther Steiner, here opening the show. He's going to be on the stage with David Croft, and we're catching him a little bit later on as well. Loads happening. If you are heading home right now, have a safe journey, but we do hope to see you back here another day. Thank you.
So at NEC with 499 Marc Clayton, who's got a brand new car on the BSCDA stand. Marc, great to talk to you. Started Formula One last year, so quite a new name into the sport.
Yeah.
So 2023 was your first season. Good season. I thought you did good.
Up and down really. Come as a bit of a shock. The big hits definitely take a bit getting used to.
Yeah.
Once you get used to them, then you can settle down and try and get some quick laps in.
Before Formula One, what did you race before? Had you done any racing before that?
We did do grass track racing for probably 7 or 8 years, I think. Quite a long time.
Yeah.
Just fancied a change, so.
So had you always kind of known about Formula One stock cars? And
Yeah. Well, my dad raced them in the 70s.
Okay.
And then I raced mini stocks in the 90s. And then we went grass track racing. And then we came back to ovals.
So it is very, I mean, grass track and Formula One, transferable in terms of shale and I guess a bit of speed, but it's the contact that's very
it's
different.
Contact that takes some getting used to with these. The big hits certainly hurt. So
I thought you had a good year, especially Bradford. Do you enjoy Bradford?
Yeah.
Upside down a few times?
Yeah. Light
Twice?
rolling over, it's fine, no problem with that. Yeah, it's good fun. I like Bradford. Kings Lane's fast.
Yeah.
So.
Because you got a tarmac car as well, so you did shale and tarmac, but you kind of stuck more to shale.
Yeah. Yes, I've not really taken to tarmac racing much, so we're going to give the tarmac car to my eldest son.
Okay.
And he's racing that this year.
Oh, brilliant.
Hopefully, if he gets on all right at Skegness practicing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got a licence already, so.
There you go. All
Fingers
sorted.
crossed, he'll be all right.
Yeah. So you, like I say, you like the shale and new car for 24. So do you want to tell us a bit about the car and I guess the reason why you've gone down that route?
I think I was just sick of fixing old things that were broken, really. I just wanted to start from scratch with a new car, and then there's nothing to blame but me then.
Yeah.
So we struggled constantly with the brakes last year, even though we kept changing them and trying to fix them. I never seemed to get them where I wanted them to get. So I just said to Matt, just build me a new car and let's start from scratch. So,
So Matt Newsom's built it. I think you guys had quite a good relationship towards the back end of last year. Matt was looking at the car for you.
I'm that busy with work, to be honest. I couldn't really race without Matt's help.
Yeah.
He cracks the car for me and does all that. So that's definitely the way forward for me anyway. So
it's a brand new car, 2024. And so what you kind of, you're currently yellow, had a good first season. So where are you kind of looking to go in 24?
Just no real prospects apart from just do my best, that's all. You know, try and stay out of trouble as much as possible and win as many as I can.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But I think the thing is, like when you start getting quicker and you start competing for race wins, which you achieved last year, it then becomes a bit like you get into a lot of difficulty sometimes with other people's races. People all want to win, so you're gonna end up like that, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think yellow's really, when I went into yellow tops, you realise you're really in the middle of the hassle there, aren't you? Because you've got to survive the first 3 or 4 laps, and then once you've survived that, normally you can settle down and get some fast racing in then. It's the first 3 laps that are the problem. You need to survive them.
So once you get to the halfway point and you're still doing all right, this is it. This is my race.
It's not normally you don't finish your race from halfway, it's normally the first 3 laps that finish it, isn't it?
So your son's coming in, so how old is your son, 16?
16, yeah. Be a bit of a shock to him.
Yes. Has he done any racing before?
He's done junior specials and go-karting, so he's sort of used to it, but it'll be the contacts again that'll take a bit of getting used to, I think. My youngest, Jack, he started racing minis last year as well, and it was the same thing he said. The racing's fine, it's just getting used to the contact. So once you get your head around that, you're all right. So.
So you've absolutely, as a family, gone very much into stock cars.
That's it, yeah. So full into it.
Do you think we talk about people transferring from other formulas and kind of grass track? A while ago, quite a few people did come in from grass track, and then there's a bit of a gap, and then but yourself, Carl Moses, come back in last year.
Come back in, yeah. You'll never keep Carl away from racing something.
Yeah.
But I just think we wanted some more laps racing, basically. That was all. And grass tracking, sort of, as good as it is, we weren't getting as much racing as we'd like, so we just came back doing this, hopefully to get more laps. And, you know.
Is grass tracking when you go there? Is it almost like a full weekend where you're kind of like from early Saturday morning, late Sunday night? So
most of the time it is, So you're there Friday night, Saturday morning, and you're coming home Sunday night, which is good. It's a family event for sure.
Yeah.
So, but we just fancied something different. That was all.
Absolutely. And you say more racing in, I guess, in a shorter period of time.
That's it. Yeah. So.
Do you think more people are coming from grass track, or is it?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. No, I think there's a lot of people thinking about it. Whether they actually do or not, it's another thing. So.
You need to be like one of those people that go and sell stock cars at grass. Take this to the grass track. This is what you could race on.
I don't want them to blame me though if they don't like it. So.
It's great to talk to you. Car looks stunning, and have a great 24.
Can't wait to get out on it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Don't
right.
break it though.
I will.
Matt
guarantee I
wants you
will.
to, because he can then like fix it.
Yeah, that's it. It's too pretty to break. That's the
It
thing.
is. It's very pretty.
It's just a shame to scratch it, but it'll get scratched.
You're going to take it to we've got Motorsport Attitude, I think, in a few weeks. Take it there, show it there.
I've not thought about it actually, because I think Matt needs it now to finish it, because
Right,
it's got a few finishing touches needs doing. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. Nice to talk to you.
And you.
Cheers.
Cheers.